Welcome everybody to another edition of WCW 2005 here in TEW 2020, as it's time for the go-home shows for Starrcade 2005, and we start off in beautiful San Antonio, Texas, just 6 days before Starrcade, as the show starts out with not anybody from Nitro, but rather from Revolution, Monty Brown come down to the ring to a big pop. Some cheers in because, a big guy pouncing people is cool, but mostly boos, as he comes down to the ring and he says, "San Antonio, the alpha male has arrived. You see, 6 days before Starrcade, I think it's time to show up in Nitro and say hello to my opponents at Starrcade. Shown here, the truth. You have to realize one thing. All throughout this year, I've been this close to greatness. I was in the finals of the Mayhem Tournament. Didn't get pinned at Bound for Glory. I was robbed, and at Starrcade one way or the other, it will be my redemption to prove I am the king of the Serengeti." And then, just Monty is about to continue, out comes Shauna here with the truth, and he says, "Want to talk about redemption? I'm waiting for an opportunity like this for a while. Nothing personal, Monty, but the Starrcade is my night, not yours." And then the truth comes out like, wait. See, want to talk about not getting pinned or losing when you shouldn't? I was just US champion, and I would stay to the top. So, Shauna, nothing personal, and Monty, really, a little bit personal, it's going to be my time tonight. And he says, "It doesn't matter who gets in my way. You will get pounced, and I prove that I am the king of the jungle here in WCW, right here on Nitro if I have to." And there's some arguing, and then the sound of the motorcycle starts up, and out comes Chuck Palumbo to the top of the ramp with the WC World Championship around his waist. He gets off the bike and takes the microphone and says, well, how about this? I'm locked in for Starrcade, of course, and all you three men are lining up to be the next men to face me after I beat AJ Styles to keep the WC World Championship in the main event of Starrcade. But Monty, you and I have teamed up before. So why tonight we have a little preview and kick the ass of these guys and show them how it's done over on Revolution. They basically accept. Truth does a quick little route, and then Monty Brown, ends things by saying, "San Antonio, get ready, because Serengeti is coming Nitro, and someone is getting pounced." So big pop for that. This gets an 86. Solid stuff. Some bad rolls as far as for trying to do stuff without a script, but still an 86, really good. And we move forward to a big main event. So yeah, basically, kind of the last week before the show, because we have cross-brand matches, sort of building things up. And then we have wow, okay, there we go. Fun stuff. See what happens when you have people who are actually over in matches. Anyway, in a three-way tag match to preview the main event, preview the Highwire Havoc match at Starrcade for the Cruiserweight Championship, we have Jim Tan Wrestling of Romy Rossi and Tony Santorelli, even though Santorelli will be part of the match, Austin Aries and Reckless Use, and Matt Sydal Maverick Chance. And as you can imagine, this match is a bit of a total cluster. Just everybody hitting big moves. Sydal flying around, Maverick Chance flying around, getting look special. Aries hitting big suplexes. Robert's trying to lock people in hold and take down Celine himself. Romeo and Tony actually being the best possible team. But eventually things break down, and Reckless Roberts is able to get Tony Santorelli and nail him with the Northern Lights 2K1 bomb and pick up the pinfall victory as a Cruiserweight champion here on Nitro, as this gets a little over 10 minutes. It gets a 68, because people were actually over in Cruiserweight match. Imagine that. Romeo gets a 58, Santorelli gets a 53, Roberts gets a 66, Aries gets a 55, Maverick Chance gets a 56, Matt Sydal gets a 62, and post-match, it's a dive train. As first, Austin Aries hits a big dive. No, first Aries is on the outside. First, Reckless gets tossed out by Maverick Chance, who hits a big dive on him. Then Aries slides through with a big tope con hilo on him. Then we have Romy Rossi actually diving out on him with a big sort of flip dive. Then Matt Sydal hits a big springboard shooting star press on everybody, and the fight continues until the officials break it apart, and this gets a 44. Okay, it turns out these guys are not as good, doing an angle as an actual match. It turns out, shocking. And then we cut backstage where Junior Brush is with Eddy Guerrero and Mike Awesome, and Boris asks, Eddy Guerrero, what's the reasoning for tonight? And Eddy Guerrero says, "You see, Jack Evans, you think you're the hot younger dog about to rise up and shock the world. So let's see if you can actually do that shocking of the world. Tonight, you're going to face this man Mike Awesome, who's thrown little men like you all over the world over and over again. Go ask old Spike Dudley how his back feels. Ask guys like in Air Raid. Hell, ask your cousin, friend, whoever, Teddy, if he's even still around. Because see, grow family values mean you're not going to walk into the main event. You're not going to walk into the match at Starrcade 100% SA. You're walking wounded, and I'm going to be ready to take the kill. Decent little promo, setting things up, for Mike Awesome versus Jack Evans. This gets a 79. I just realized something. And then we have a match which is, I don't want to say just a complete squash, but sort of a squash, as like Tajiri gets the spots in here. But this is just like sort of a showcase match for Jarrett, because he hasn't had, like, he's basically been in big matches, feud with Brother Rey, the feud with Kanyon, Kanyon before this, and then Brother Rey and everybody else. So this is just a way, Truth says Sectra, way to sort of like remind people, hey, Jeff Jarrett actually really good at this wrestling thing. So Jarrett gets his spots in, maybe goes for a miss, but Jarrett's ready for him. And eventually Jarrett locks him down, hits the stroke, 1, 2, 3, just like nothing fancy here. Just a complete straightforward win for Jarrett here on Nitro. As this gets a 70, Jarrett gets a 81 because he's great, and Jarrett gets a 59. Is there anything bad here? I don't think so. Nope. Okay. Right. It was a storyline. Right. Cap the match length, and because we put it as a storytelling. So Jarrett is celebrating, and he takes the mic. And Jesus Christ, that's a good promo. Okay. Listen up, slapnuts. What you just witnessed was a wrestling clinic courtesy of the Chosen One. Tajiri, nothing personal, kid, but you're just not on my level. And speaking of people not on my level, Ken Anderson. Kenny boy, son, you're the bright new star of WCW, and now you're taking me on at Starrcade. And once again, you're another bright, shining new star, rising to the top, trying to make an name at the expense of a legend like me. Hotshot, you're in for a rude awakening. Now don't get me wrong, being a TV champion is impressive. But let's put some things in perspective, shall we, slapnuts? I've been in business since I was working on those hot studio lights at WC5 in Memphis. And what's constant in this ever-changing business? The Chosen One, Jeff Jarrett. Wherever I've been, in Memphis, in Texas, up north, here. Championship belts, main events, being part of the biggest and best stables in this business. I've seen Shining Stars rise, and I've watched them fizzle out just as quickly. I'm still here, and I'm still the man of this business. I've beaten legends, Hall of Famers, never has-beens, and never will-be's. Starrcade will be just another night where I show the world I am just that. The Chosen One. So Anderson, bring your A-King, kid. Bring all the charisma, all the flash, and all the talent you think you've got. Make this a moment you think you're going to rise to the occasion. Because Starrcade, you're stepping into the ring with a man who's seen it all and done it all. But when the dust settles and the smoke clears, I'll still be here, guitar in hand, sitting over just another bright new star that couldn't just measure up. Anderson, Starrcade is going to be night-night, and you're going to get about a lesson of a lifetime. Because I am the Chosen One. So 100, really good promo. Final thing there from Jarrett as this gets 100. And now I kind of feel bad I'm doing an Anderson promo in response. And then just because I couldn't find a spot for him on the card, and we had the sort of the big heat angle last week, is we have a quick little Helms Goldberg video package that goes 2 minutes, gets 68, and move things forward. And then we have a backstage promo with Brother Rey against Jarrett Borash, as he says, what's his feeling that he's facing a former WCW World Champion Kidman for the #1 pick for Nitro. And Brother Rey, says, Borash, here's reality. Here's a little secret. I don't give a damn about the #1 pick. This was about getting on Starrcade. And sure, if I win, and Nitro gets the #1 pick, yay for Bischoff. But I want to make a statement. And honestly, I'm happy that it's a world champion like Kidman the other way. Because I get to beat him and show everybody I am on that level. After just losing out at Bound for Glory, I will rise to the top once again. And after Starrcade, 2006 will be the year of Brother Rey. 84, good promo, putting over upcoming match against Kidman. And then we have a fun little promo here, as out comes the entirety of the Nest. Well, not Morgan because it gets bitter, but Raven, Morningstar, Messias, and the Prophet. And Raven cuts a promo, basically saying, all four of us, all four of these men in the nest, will be part of Tag Turmoil. And you do not know the machinations, the plans, the ideas, the ways that no matter what you think will happen, the nest will end up on top and leave Starrcade with the World Tag Team titles. Will it be myself and the Monster Messias? Will it be Morningstar and the Prophet? You shall not know until that night. Quoth the Raven, and then out comes Lashley, Claudio Cesaro, and Ric Flair. And Flair says, Raven, Morningstar, Messias, Prophet, you're talking to the Nature Boy. And you want to talk about having plans? I'm the dirtiest player in the game still. So what do you say, my men, take on your four men right now? And, Morningstar points out the obvious that, they don't have partners. And Fresh Mark says, I thought you'd ask about that. And out comes Booker T and Shelton Benjamin over from Revolution, who are also part of Tag Team Turmoil. And it looks like we have an 8-man tag set up for right now. This gets an 85 because, hey, turns out Ric Flair, good at promos. Booker T, good at promos, and these guys. So, 85, good stuff, moving things forward. And, Prophet got injured, so, oh my god, so many injured people. So yeah, this is just, car crash match, right? I said as a car crash, and this is just a wild match. Just everybody going crazy. Lashley gets his spots, overpowering people. Claudio gets getting his spots in. Shelton suplexes. Booker T gets to be Booker T. Raven gets to do some brawling. Morningstar gets some fun little actual wrestling match with Shelton Benjamin. Messias chokeslams people and does some brawling. Eventually things break down. Raven able to get a chair in the ring. Even flow DDT on the chair on Cesaro. 1, 2, 3. The Nest picks up the victory here, and the Prophet picks up an injury, unfortunately. Prophet gets a 50, Raven gets a 74, Morningstar gets a 93, CS gets an 88, Lashley gets a 39, Cesaro gets a 67, Shelton gets a 78, Booker gets a 79. Fun stuff. And then the fighting continues afterwards, and just, things breaking down, including, sort of the faces running into each other. They start fighting, and that allows the Nest to escape before they, have a stare down. And it looks like at Starrcade, at Tag Turmoil, it will be every team for himself, except for perhaps the Nest. Then we move forward. As well, we end that, and we come back from commercial with Kanyon coming down to the ring. And, as announcers put over, what happened last week with Alex Wright trying to control him at the end of the show. And Kanyon takes Mike says, right, last week, you thought you were making a statement when you tried to control me. Alex, you think that's the way? Just avoid Starrcade match, take me out, and crow about taking out a former world champion. But here's reality, right? I've been hit harder, and I've come back from worse. I got tossed from the top of the triple cage, and I came back. I fought giants, I fought legends, I fought some of the best wrestlers in the world, and I'm still here standing in the ring. I've taken beatings, and I've dished them out. I've gone low, and I've gone high, and every single time, I've gotten right back up. So right, that's Wonder Boy, that's Wonder Kid, about being desperate at the top. Let me tell you, I've been there like I said. But I'm here now in front of these fans, knowing that they're behind me. So Alex, you want to make your mark at Starrcade? You think by beating a former WWE World Champion and Starrcade main eventer, you're going to get that spotlight? Well, let me tell you something, kid. The spotlight is damn hot, and the reality is, deep down, you're not ready for it. At Starrcade, I'm going to show you what it means to be at the top of the food chain in this business. I'm going to show you why this business is built on sweat, blood, and tears, not cheap shots and shortcuts. So if you think you're going to walk out of Starrcade the winner, you're out to earn a hard lesson. Because when all said is done, when the dust settles and the smoke clears and the bell rings, you'll know, just like every single person in this arena, and deep down everybody in the back knows, who's better than Kanyon? The crowd shouts nobody. That's right. And it's Starrcade, right? Alex, that's Wonderbar, whatever you're calling yourself, you're going to learn a lesson the hard way. 99, really good promo, sort of one last sell job as we move forward. And then we get a response from Ken Anderson as he, is backstage and he says, Jeff Jarrett, you think I don't know your history? Come on. I've seen you on TV. I've seen you in main events. I've seen you in world titles. I saw you lost world titles really quickly. I've seen you brawling, fighting, bleeding, all of it. That's why I want you in that ring. Because, yeah, I don't want the Jeff Jarrett that's been preening about avoiding fights, getting back up from his minions from the past couple years. Hell, I don't even want the Jeff Jarrett who was part of the NWO, winning world titles and getting them handed to by guys named Vince. No. I want the guy who wrestled almost every single night in Memphis, fighting, bleeding, and brawling. I want the guy who gave his best against some of the best wrestlers in the world up north. I want the guy who came back here in WCW almost a decade ago, all fill a piss of vinegar. Because I want to be ready for a fight, Jarrett. Because when I beat your ass, when I walk it dry, I'm going to prove I'm the biggest a-hole in this business, and nobody's going to stop me on my way to the top. At the end of the day, after Starrcade, the only winner will be Anderson. 81, good promo, not as good as Jarrett, but what can you do? Plus only 4 minutes. Let's see here. Oh no, Evan's gimmick is getting stale. So, I mean, this is what it is. Like, so you can probably guess something is happening with Awesome, but I'm not going into that. So, yeah, this is freaking great. Like, I mean, this is basically, imagine those Mike Awesome Spike Dudley matches in ECW, except a lot better worker than Spike Dudley, with a lot bigger crowd, and with a lot better work behind it. So basically, like, Awesome just goes to kill Evans, and every time Evan gets out of it, like, Awesome Bomb turned into a Rowan Reverse Cradle, into a Rana, into a DDT, big dives, and eventually, like, Awesome actually goes for a big punch himself on Evans. Evans gets out of the way. Jack rolls Awesome in, goes up top, 7-1-on-1, 1, 2, 3. Awesome kicks out at 3.1, but Jack Evans has defeated Mike Awesome here on Nitro, 6 days out from Starrcade. 90, good stuff. Jack Evans gets a 91, Mike Awesome gets a 79, and yeah, I'll have to fix Evans' gimmick after the show. But of course, what happens afterwards is, Evans is celebrating when Eddy Guerrero comes in, and, there's a stare down, and Eddy just wants to say, no, not in here to attack you, kid. Holmes, I just want to give you last warning. That was impressive. I'm not going to deny that. But Mike Awesome, he lacks one thing that I have. Pure, absolute talent. Evans, you better be ready in for the fight of your life. And, Eddy goes to walk away. Evans turns around to play with the crowd, and that's when Eddy strikes. And, he knocks Jack down, says, "You idiot." He picks him up, brainbuster. And he walks away, cocky as hell. One last attack by Eddy before Starrcade. 78, good stuff, because only 4 minutes. And we have basically a promo from a dojo in Japan, where Stacy Keibler, we have Kaz and Yang in the background, basically like beating the crap out of random, jobbers, some young boys from a local, indie fed, whatever. We hear kicks, Yang fighting around. Stacy Keibler says, "My men are in deep training for Tag Team Turmoil. Throw whatever team you want. Booker and Shelton, you think it's your moment. Evolution, this is the Evolution Tag Team Wrestling. And the Nest, you want to talk about darkness? Try us. You see, because my men are Tag Team Wrestling. They're the champs for the reason. They've been the best in the business. And after Starrcade, no matter what number they draw, they will walk out as your tag team champions." 85, good stuff, as sort of looking here, we're like, apart from the fray. And oof, okay, let's see here. Injury for Monty, not the best match, honestly. Truth's still injured. I mean, I should have known that. But yeah, so, okay, so it didn't show up in the booking, because of course it didn't. So basically what happens here is, it's your very typical match. Like, we get some spots with Monty and O'Hare, and Monty and Palumbo and O'Hare thrown back to their feud and, their breakup. Truth gets his spots in. But basically, the end of the show thing here is to a big pop. AJ Styles comes out of the crowd to the ringside area. Palumbo, basically gets down to the ring. They start, fighting and arguing. And, that gets Monty to be distracted just long enough for him to, yell at Palumbo and AJ Styles. Turns around, go back for the pounce, but Truth gets out of the way because he's recovered. Truth are consequences. 1, 2, 3. As Palumbo comes in, to try to make the save, but it's too late. And a fun little match here. This gets an 84. Truth gets a 68. O'Hare gets a 79. Truth is injured. O'Hare's O'Hare. Palumbo gets an 87. Monty gets an 87. And then post-match, sort of everybody also gets involved. Palumbo, and then, as Palumbo is in the ring, AJ Styles comes in to the ring apron. Phenomenal forearm. The fight continues. Rolls through. Styles clash to end the show on Chuck Palumbo. This gets an 82. The show overall okay. So, I didn't want to, show this, but it's here. So, that's the end of, the show that people see on. But because this is sort of, the week before Starrcade, we're doing some special stuff. So, Sting introed. He's announced as the member of the, Hall of Fame at Starrcade in Texas. Prince Jose and Skipper come down and basically buy his Hall of Fame spot from him. They offer him game in, all that stuff I've done before. And then Goldberg to a big pop, 77. Then you have a goofy little, pre-show match as Goldberg and Sting kill Jose and Skipper in 5 minutes. Basically Goldberg hits a jackhammer, Sting hits a scorpion death drop, 1, 2, 3. It's not really a match, but there you go. Show overall still gets a 90 because the post-show stuff does not matter. But yeah, so that was Nitro. That was Nitro. And then yeah, we're just moving on to Revolution here in a second. I'll go over everything with WWE because they had Armageddon, so I'll go over everything as far as that goes. After that, we'll see what mail there is, and then we'll go from there. Phil Atlas is a guy. He's not very good. As this continues to load. God. If this, yeah, anyway. Oh, okay, I was like, Liger's God? No, okay, not that. Oh, no. Okay, that is hilarious. So, Edge is, okay, interesting. Alright. So, yeah, so actually, I can sort of, add this in real quick while we're thinking about it. I guess Ultimate X is not in here, so I'll just have to add it. But yeah, let me just make this official. Matt Sydal, Maverick Chance, Reckless Roberts, and I'm blanking on somebody. Who's the other guy? Right, Austin. So yeah, we'll add that match. And Cruiserweight. And then the Brother versus Kidman, and then there's a Tag Team Turmoil, but those aren't official matches. Right, that's the show. I'm not blanking on anything else. Anderson Jarrett, Eddy Guerrero, 4-way ladder match, Palumbo Styles, Brother Kidman, Coleman Elms, AW Hardy's, Alex Wright. Yeah, that's the show. Okay. So I'll be back in just a second with Revolution. All right, and welcome everybody to WCW Revolution live from beautiful Dallas, Texas, just 4 days out from Starrcade in Houston. Let's get rolling as the announcers put over a big contract signing between WCW World Champion Chuck Palumbo and his challenger in the main event of Starrcade, AJ Styles. 68 for that, and then we go to the ring for our opening match of the night, a WCW Women's Tag Team Championship match between, of course, the challengers Celine, Cartier, and Alexander, who had a big win over Captivation, then challenged Social Scene for the titles. And it's a back and forth match, completely clean, back and forth as, Vidal and Ratcliffe and Cartier and Alexander are all baby faces, but Cartier and Alexander play kind of subtle heels as they're sort of slightly bigger and more powerful, and Cartier actually goes for the sleeve late. Nikki Ratcliffe turns it into sort of a modified cutter, back and forth match, and eventually Social gets Cartier gets out of the ring, double team, and Anna Vidal nails Alexander with a modified stunner. 1, 2, 3. Social Scene defend the Tag Team Championships here on Revolution. This is a 73, perfectly solid match. Ratcliffe gets a 62, Vidal gets a 62, Cartier gets a 77, Alexander gets a 55. And, after the match, there's a bit of tension when out of nowhere, Captivation attack. And, just both women have been through, a title match, so both teams are down, and Desiree Dawkins, Lizzie Dumas, and Lexi James take out, captive, the women. But eventually, they make this fight back, and they fight to the back as the answer is put over what this all means for Starrcade, as this gets a 58. And then we cut backstage, where we have Paul London, who's facing Mark Jindrak for the United States title. Booker T and Shelton Benjamin were part of the Tag Team Turmoil, and as a surprise, Brother Rey, over from Nitro, in the back to talk about their 6-man main event tag match. And Brother Rey, Hex McPherson says, "Yep, I'm here on Revolution, and it's for a reason. It's about to send a message. I'm making sure Kidman, Lance Storm, and Jindrak know they're not dealing with amateurs. Kidman, I'm fighting you for that number 1 draft pick. Like I said on Nitro, I'm fighting you to make a statement against a former world champion to prove I can be at the top." And then there's, Lance says, "Jindrak, you might be that magnificent, you might have the body, but I have the skills and the heart. I've been beaten down by men better than you, and I've gotten right back up. Tonight's just the appetizer, because at Starrcade, you better bring your A game, because you're going to need it. This is about titles and rising and rising and rising." And the break takes over. "Can you dig that sucker? We got a big 6-man tag match. Happy to team with this man," his brother Rey, "and this man, Paul London. But more than that, tonight, we got a big moment for my man here, Shelton. Shelton Benjamin's one of the youngest, most talented wrestlers in the business today, and he's going up against Kaz, one half the tag champs, and going to prove him that he can suplex the hell out of him. Tonight's going to be a sneak peek of what's going to happen at Tag Team Turmoil. So I gotta ask y'all, are we ready to go out there and with some prime for it?" And then it cuts off. "Book, you don't even ask. We're born right. Everyone thinks you're tough. They're about to find out what mess with us. And Mark Jindrak, you're not magnificent. You're just a punk, and you know that when I kicked your ass before." And I make a statement that echo all the way to Starrcade. And then London finishes up. "Tonight, it's not just about the main event, it's about momentum and walking Starrcade knowing we've already beaten you guys once, and at Starrcade, we can do it again." So solid promo, 93, putting everything over before we head off to the, did I forget to add, I forgot to add the storyline stuff. Oh well, not the end of the world. And then we have an in-ring match where WCW television champion Ken Anderson comes down to the ring and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, allow me to introduce a man who walked into Starrcade as a television champion and kick Jarrett's ass, Mr. Ken Anderson. And tonight, I was happy to defend my WCW Television Championship against anybody in the back who wants their asses kicked by an a-hole in just 3 little seconds." Then cue Jamie Knowles' music comes out to a big heel pop as he comes out of the ring and says, Ken, you're hogging the spotlight all just before Starrcade. You're saying you're talking about introductions? You should talk about farewells. Farewell to that television championship just 4 days before Starrcade. And you think because you're facing the chosen one, you're in his league? Hell, you're not even my league, Anderson. And that's when I take that title away from you in just a few minutes. And Anderson fires back, "You're not going to prove it. You see, Jamie, that's the difference between you and me. You talk, and I deliver. But Jarrett, you, or anybody else in the back, this TV championship stays where it belongs, around my waist." And Noble fires back, "You better estimate me, Anderson. I've been men bigger and stronger than you. I can, and I will wrestle around circles around you and make you ask the question, are you going to tap or are you going to hear those bones snap?" And Anderson fires back one more time. "Buddy, underestimate you? No. Overlook you? Never. But beat your ass? Absolutely. I have no intention of losing my TV championship in Starrcade. I'm not going to let you take it away from me before I walk in as a champion." The showdown and the match is on as this gets an 80. Good stuff. And then the actual match is a back and forth match. Anderson is doing the US Pro style, throwing him around. Noble's taking him down. Back and forth match. But it looks like, Anderson is going to get the win after a big power slam. But as he picks him up for the Kenton bomb, Noble shifts him, does his eyes, pushes him to the ref. Ref bump, Anderson takes back over and is about to hit it again. When Mark Jindrak comes in, wallops Anderson from behind, says that's a message from the chosen one. Noble recovers, hits a big diving leg drop. Referee recovers, 1, 2, 3. 4 days before Starrcade, Jamie Noble has become your WCW television champion. This gets an 80, Noble gets an 81, Anderson gets a 79, and Noble celebrates with the title to a 71. So yeah, in the back. So I was trying to figure out who, because I didn't want Anderson, because honestly he got way above it real quickly. Like I honestly was like, I don't know. So like the thing is, so yeah, like I was gonna have him drop the title, but I was trying to figure out, and then Noble came to me. So there we go. And then the fight continues backstage, as we've got Annie Vidal, Sophie Doc, and then Angel Fox gets involved, and Ratcliffe is fighting, and they're brawling all over the catering area, back through the backstage area, into the women's locker room, and we get a spot in the shower where, you know, one of the women, probably Annie Vidal or, you know, Desiree Dawkins, gets a little wet, because again, this is 2005, you know, but, you know, not that much, as mostly it's the fighting, as as the officials try to stream in and break things apart, as this gets a 57. And then we cut backstage, where we have the heels, you know, Kidman, Lance Storm, Jindrak, backstage. And, Jindrak says, "Look at this magnificence. Paul London, little pipsqueak, you think you can match this greatness, this wonderfulness, this magnificence at Starrcade? It's disgusting that you even think you would get in this ring with me, United States champion." And Kim Sep says, "Brother Ray, you can step in this ring with me and come out on top. Last time I checked, I'm a former world champion, and you're nothing but a tag team specialist who choked when he had the chance to become world champion bound for glory. Stakes are high. I'm sure there's no one draft for the brand. Let's just see how well you do facing a world champion when the pressure is on. Tonight's about a statement, and the statement is clear. Whoever gets in that ring with me is going to fall. And Booker, I just might send a message to you before Tag Team Turmoil, so you're knocked out with your new little protege." And your acceptance is, "London, I'm going to give you an old-fashioned beatdown at Starrcade. And Brother Ray, you want to talk about having a match before? Well, I'm a U.S. champion now, not how I was before. I'm simply magnificent." And then Kidman finishes off saying, "Starrcade will be a reminder why the spotlight belongs on Billy Kidman, and why this has been my year until 2006. After I'm done with you, Brother Ray, you better go find another tag team partner and go back where you belong." So 83, decent heel promo is moving forward to an interesting. So this is basically like a preview of the 4-way women's ladder match at Starrcade by having basically their quasi tag team partners. So ODB, of course, has been teamed with Joni Lawler recently. LA Danger is Gail Kim's protege. Wasim Music, of course, part of Union Union, and Nanny they're here because, well, Trisha Sky was teamed with Joni Lawler, then she was teamed with other women, so she's just sort of like here. And you think she'd be the fall, but like basically, things break down as basically all the women get involved in the match as they're all at ringside. So Colt, basically goes after Danger. Gail Kim hits the Eat Defeat on Neidhart, but then ODB gets involved. And then Gail Kim ODB brawl. Joni Lawler comes in and then hits a huge powerbomb on Wisina Busick. She rolls out of the ring. Nikita Colt and Joni Lawler start brawling at ringside. Trisha Sky comes in, and in the confusion, ODB hits a big sort of powerbomb on LA Danger to pick up the pinfall victory. This gets a 68. ODB gets a 52. LA Danger gets a 54. Busick gets a 67. Neidhart gets a 44. And then post-match, the chaos continues. We have everybody getting involved. Sky coming in, brawling with Gail Kim. Lawler getting involved, then Sky and Kim fighting. Lawler going for a powerbomb onto Gail Kim, and Gail Kim turning into an Arana. The understudies getting involved, and eventually ODB, somebody gets a ladder out, and eventually ODB gets, sent over the top rope through a ladder by European Disunion as the fight continues, and the announcers put over the first ever women's ladder match at Starrcade 2005. And yeah, I got some pictures to look over to see if I can change them. 91 good stuff, as I actually involve the women here. And then, as we come back for commercial, we have a big old confrontation between Rey Mysterio Jr. and RVD as he comes out with Paul Heyman. And, Rey Jr. says, in a few days, Starrcade is going down. And Rob, I want you to come the hell out here. Rob comes down with Heyman. And, RVD says, Ray, we go way back, don't we? ECW days, innovating this business, setting trends, nobody can deny. All thanks to this man. He points over to Heyman. Ray Jr. says, yeah, those are good times. We're making a name for ourselves, taking risk, flying high, and now here we are, top of the world, former world champions, both of us. But Heyman says, top of the world in a sense, because this man, Rob Van Dam, is the top of the business. Well, Ray, you are a blip on it. And Anderson says, hey, Starrcade is my event, Ray. Last year, I walked out as WCW World Champion, and this year is going to be no different. Because, Ray, you're a high flyer, but there's only one man who can truly elevate this game, and you look at him. Rob Van Dam. Mix pop, and Ray fires back. Look, no disrespect. You've been the champion, you've been the top guy here. And when you came in here, you rose to the top, and I came with you, and we teamed up, and we're this close to becoming tag team champions. But right now, I'm talking about the present. You walked away from all that. You teamed up with this slime ball. You let him speak for you. You let him turn your brain around just because you had a couple of bad nights. So I got to beat you in that ring to remind you of what you should be doing in this business instead of tagging along and hoping he doesn't write another bad check. Ooh. And Heyman says, Ray, let me get one thing straight. Rob Van Dam is not just a guy. He is the guy. He is Mr. Wednesday Night. He's the number one guy in the business. And he will be Mr. Starrcade. Because while you were bouncing around, he was busy setting standards. And, Ray steps on him, and RV steps on him, and he says, watch it, Ray. Look, Heyman is a visionary. He knows talent when he sees it. And yeah, you want to talk about me losing the world title? That's fine. But I didn't drop the ball like you did. What was it, Ray? 1 month? That's your reign? Winning it? Getting the crowds all happy? Then dropping it to Palumbo just like that? And Ray fires back. Rob, you want to print that up? Fine. It was short. It happened. But I got there. When just a few years ago, if you would have told somebody that Rey Mysterio Jr. was going to be world champion, they would have scoffed at you. They would have laughed at you. And yeah, I represent that title well, and guess what? When you were champion, so did you, Rob. But now you're with him, as he points out Ray. And Heyman says, disrespect? You want to talk about disrespect? Let's talk about how disrespectful it is to compare yourself to RVD, a once-in-a-lifetime talent who will prove it at Starrcade. And Ray finishes up by saying, Rob, at Starrcade, I'm just not fighting USA. I'll be fighting around you every day why I belong here, why I belong to the top. And if going through you and Heyman is what it takes, so be it. And then Rob finishes things up by saying, Ray, you can bring all the passion, man, all the moves, all the heart you've got. At the end of the day, Starrcade will be a night just like any other. Another night, another spectacular show. Because I'm just not Mr. Wednesday Night. I'm just Mr. Pay-Per-View. I'm going to prove at Starrcade I am Mr. Starrcade. So 93, good stuff as we move forward. And oof, okay, this was kind of disappointing. Let's see here, what happened here? Okay, lack of heat from the storyline. I guess that's true. And I guess Shelton isn't that over yet. I keep on forgetting that. But anyway, this is probably one of those matches that people look back on for years and Kaz and Shelton had this great match on Revolution, and kind of a dead crowd because he wasn't quite there yet. But suplexes, kicks, big moves, moonsaults, big power bombs, roll throughs to moves, reversals of submissions, back and forth, big kicks for a near fall. Benjamin dropping him with a big backdrop driver for a near fall. And then Stacey Gibbs is involved, and that's just enough interference for Kaz to nail the kick of doom and his submission, but he gets pinfall victory here in a little under 13 minutes with the pinfall, 77. Kaz gets a 94, Shelton gets a 65. And post-match, the heels celebrate as he encounters put over. What a tough match it'll be for anybody to defeat and KO in 10 minutes as part of Tag Team Turmoil. 70, good stuff as they celebrate. Then we get Hardy's AMW hype video, just like the Helms Goldberg hype video, just because I didn't have time for them on the show, 71. And then we have our next recap. And then we have our main event of the evening. And yeah, this is a banger. So yeah, basically, this is your very typical pre-pay-per-view 6-man main event, like everybody putting their spots in, storming to, technically roll around with somebody, Booker brawling a bit, Ray going right after Kidman doing his cheating, Jindrak using his power on London, but London fighting back, London and Kidman having some big spots, Storm hitting a super kick and locking in Kenny Maple Leaf on Paul London, waiting for Booker T make the save, back and forth, and eventually what happens is near the end of the match, Ken Anderson comes down to ringside and he, pulls down Jindrak while the ref is distracted and he starts fighting with him. That gets the heels just distracted enough for Lance Storm to walk into a bookend, 1, 2, 3, and then the brawl really continues, really starts. So this gets a 94, Jindrak gets a 75, Storm gets a 91. Maybe he has Booker T's in bookend, London's hitting a dive on Jindrak. Kim gets a 92, Booker gets an 80, Ray gets a 92, Paul gets a 93, and post-match, it's just a fight, just battling until, as the answers put over the big matches. Booker T will be part of, it's going to be Paul and Jindrak for the U.S. title. Ken Anderson will get revenge on the Chosen Few as he takes on their leader, Jeff Jarrett. And Brother Ray and Kidman battle for the number 1 draft pick for Nitro and Revolution. 97 good stuff. And then we have our actual closing angle, which is the contract signing. So, General Manager Teddy Long is there as Palumbo comes down. First AJ Styles comes down to a big pop, the called shot contract. Palumbo comes down to the ring, with his bike and Raven Rain. Palumbo, takes the mic, has, Teddy Long, goes over particulars of the match, main event, world title, 60-minute time limit. And, if anybody from the outside gets involved, they will be suspended permanently. So there you go. And then we have the actual promo. So, okay, not as good as I wanted. Let's see here. Yeah, bad roll on Palumbo. Let me see. Anything else? Nope, just a bad roll. Okay, I'm still in 85, so I'm not complaining about it. But anyway, we start off with, Palumbo, taking the mic around first. He says, this belt right here. This isn't just a piece of metal and leather. And you may not like me, but this is the result of years of blood, sweat, and tears. This is a culmination of a journey when I walked into the power plant 6-7 years back. I was just another guy among the ranks, part of the Thrillers, being tossed out on TV with almost no experience and being told to sink or swim. And we rose up together and then eventually apart, surviving the chaos of the reboot, rising, eventually splitting apart and going on our own path. And I was floundering until I found my old lady, Raven Ray. She helped me see things clearly and set my path straight to get me on the right path to not failing my expectations. Because with her by my side, I did what everybody said I couldn't do. I became the WWE World Champion and the face of our revolution. Mostly heels, but there's a couple cheers in there. And he turns to AJ. He says, so AJ, let's get one thing straight. This isn't just a wrestling ring. This is my ring. And Revolution is just a show. It's my show. And at Starrcade 2005 in Houston, it's going to be my moment. And AJ, I'm going to deny you're a phenomenal talent. And you have a great future in front of you. But that's keyword. Future. You need to understand that being phenomenal isn't going to be enough to take this away from me. As our Starrcade, we're going to find out why I'm the champion, why I won that ring and took it from a legend like Rey Mysterio Jr. You're going to find out what it feels like to give it all and fall short like I have before. Because you're not just going against a man, AJ. You're going against a man who has fought for everything he's ever had and won. At AJ, so get ready, AJ. Get ready to find out that Starrcade will be not the end of your little brick road. It's not going to be your moment where everybody back in your little hometown in Georgia gets to cry and celebrate. It's going to be my moment. And another reminder that I am the top of the food chain here in World Championship Wrestling, and I am the number 1 guy in this business. And, AJ takes the mic and says, you want to talk about your journey, like you're the only one who's into the ringer, Chuck? Come on now. Let me give you a reality check. We've all had to fight to get to this stage. Every single one of us. I cut my teeth wrestling in front of 50 people in a former Church Garage, and backwards to Georgia Man. IKW is part of Air Raid, and we're part of the hottest tag team division in the world. America Most Wanted, Heart Legacy, Team Canada, The Horsemen. We set the standard here in singles matches, triple threats, aerials, anarchies, and we were there as tag team champions. But I didn't stop there. I moved on. I fought legend Jushin Liger, Rey Mysterio Jr., and last year I beat Eddy Guerrero at Starrcade. So you want to say you're the face of the revolution, Chuck? I faced and beat men who have been faces of this entire industry. Last year, I was this close to winning the Mayhem tournament, and this year, I did it. I yanked down and won that called shot. So I've earned the right to be here in this ring, signing this contract, and to be at Starrcade, the great day of all, and compete for that, the WCW World Championship. So Chuck, you say Starrcade is going to be your moment. Well, let me tell you something. Starrcade is where I become the face that runs this place. Starrcade is where I step into the revolution of the future. Starrcade is where I become the next WCW World Champion. So get ready, Chuck. I'm not coming for Starrcade for a moment. I'm coming for Revolution, my revolution, and that title is coming home with me. And then, Chuck fires back. AJ, you talk good game. You talk about wrestling legends, part of the hottest tag division, all that. But I beat a legend to become world champion. And let me get this straight. Me and Rey Mysterio Jr. are never going to be friends, never be best buddies. But he's a damn legend, and I kicked his ass and I won the title from him. And AJ says, you're right, I'm going to be phenomenal on my own when I take that belt off of your waist, Chuck. No matter whether your little old lady tries to get involved or what you try to do. Because I fought the best all over this company. Say a name, and I've got in the ring with them. So I'm ready to take you on in the main event in Houston and take that belt away from you. And Chuck says, you think you can come to my ring on my show and make it yours? You're standing in the ring with a man who came to face the revolution, a man who's been wars earn this belt. Yes, talking about wars, I've gone through ladders, I've gone through tables, I've flown through the air, and I've bled, scratched, and done everything. Palumbo, I'm not denying your talent, but I'm just that much better. And, Chuck says, AJ, you may think that, but I have one last question for you as they're face to face. Are you ready to go full throttle? And then Palumbo grabs him, hits him with a quick headbutt, picks him up, full throttle, through the table to a big heel pop. And, Palumbo basically takes Mike, as long as upset. You're going to be the face that runs this play, Styles. You're going to have to go through hell to get past me. Starrcade, it's going to be a revolution. It's going to be a reckoning. And when I'm done, Chuck Palumbo will still be WCW World Champion. 85. Not I wanted 100, but you don't always get what you want. 92 overall. Good stuff. So yeah. There's your go home shows. Obviously, not like sort of not what's what am I looking for here? Yeah, some good stuff there. Like again, I didn't want I was just game with Palumbo in that last match on Nitro. Like I did not want to screw up my main event. But sometimes you gotta take a little bit of risk. Nice guy just tore. He didn't have a picture. Okay, so let me check some mail. Oh, I'll get to this in a minute, but okay, so again, as a sort of final preview, we do have one last match to add. As at Starrcade, it's going to be Celine Cartier, All That, Alyssa Alexander, Angel Fox. Where are you? Annie Vidal, and Nikki Radcliffe against Lizzie Dumas, Lexi James, Desiree Dawkins, Alley Danger. And I did not realize I brought in ODBs. Okay, I'll have to fix that. And with new music in a 10 women's elimination match where the surviving women of either team, whichever team wins, get the next women's world championship shot. So we'll pre-book that for Starrcade. So here's the final show. Outside of the Tag Turmoil, which I didn't have that, but Tag Turmoil will involve Booker and Shelton and KO, the current tag team champions. Evolution. And both Raven and Messias and Morningstar and the Prophet. And maybe it'll be a surprise. Who knows? But outside of that, main event. Palumbo Styles for the WCW World Championship. We also have, in the first ever 4-way women's ladder match, Gail Kim, Nita Colt, Trisha Sky, Joni Lawler, Women's World Championship. We have, for the, where is it? Did I not? Oh shit, I forgot to book it. My bad. I totally thought I booked this already. I guess I thought I added it again. So we got Magnificent Mark Jindrak versus Paul London for the WCW United States Championship. We have Highwire Havoc, Romeo Rossi, Matt Sydal, Maverick Chance, Rick Roberts, and Austin Aries. We have, for the number one contendership, The Truth versus Sean O'Hare versus Monty Brown in a triple threat match. We have, for the number one draft pick for the Nitro Revolution, Brother Ray versus Billy Kidman. In a cage match, Alex, America's Most Wanted, will take on the Hardy Boys. Alex Wright will take on Kanyon, and Jack Evans will take on Eddy Guerrero, and Ken Anderson will take on Jeff Jarrett as 3 big pitched feuds and grudges on Nitro reach a boiling point, along with Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Rob Van Dam. Also, Bill Goldberg versus Shane Helms, as Shane Helms, tries to do one final legend killing, and as noted, the 10-woman elimination match. As a final check here, storyline wise, so draft time, oops, got an 80, which I should have added Kidman at some point to this. Oh well, I added to him with the pay-per-view. Tag Turmoil's at a 866. Top of the Heat's at a 45. I guess I might have to end that or add truth to it or do something with it. I don't know. Whose Glory, the US title match, is at 93. Against the Darkness is at 70. Cruiser Stuffs, which is at a 62. Demand Under Pressure is at a 92. Heavenly Vows is at an 82. Just Champ Things, Jarrett and Anderson's at a 93. Never Friends Now Enemies at a 91. Ultimate Opportunities at a 62. And Advocates at 97. Captivating Champions at a 63. European Skies at an 82. Not quite a triumvirate. I guess this continues sort of, is at a 91. Revolution Rising is at an 88. Starcraft, which, okay, yeah, we're just ending that. Taking the properties back at an 83. And Who's That Bitch in Charge at a 75. So there you go. And then let's go over the rest of the wrestling world. So WWE, I didn't show what they did on, because they had the pay-per-view. So Armageddon. Armageddon was a very interesting show. So it had, usual matches don't count. Okay, so we had Sandman and Maven, which is our team defeating Crowbar Matt Classic in a 61. We had Amber James defeat Chantel Fierce and Langel Obscuriga. So yeah. Jackie and Ivory do your new heroines. CM Punk defeat Rick Steiner in an I Quit match. Sure. We had Big Lee Gunn and the Outcast team up to defeat Devin DuBois and the Sex Machines, which is Rico and Viscera. We had Scott Steiner defeat Justice and Skyfall Kaya Blind in a cage match. Sure. Molly Holly defeat Cherry Slice in an 81. The APA defeat TNA by DQ in a match for the tag team titles. So APA keep the tag belts. And then in a match where the AI almost created a very interesting match, but then they threw in Rikishi. So Batista, of course, formerly of Battle of Bruja, now it's Jim Cornette. Kane, who the AI turned face at some point, and Vampiro, former head leader of Battle of Bruja, and Rikishi faced off for the IC title, and Batista walks out as a champion. I'm going to guess Rikishi got pinned here. And then in the main, we had Brock Lesnar and Carnage Carnival take on Jericho's Jerks. So what I imagine here is this was really going to be Streets to the Suburbs, but they attacked Leonardo Michael Murray, aka Spanky, and Brock Lesnar, who's a babyface here, came in as the tag partner, and this got a 91, because of course it did. Then in a interesting four-way, the Undertaker defeated DDP, William Regal, and Kurt Angle in 88. And then in main event, Shawn Michaels defeated Edge and Benoit in a cage match to win back the WWF World Championship. So then on Raw, we had Rick Steiner defeat Adam Cole and Carlito Cool. Sure. DDP and Sandman and Maven defeat Finley and the Outcasts. Caleb Lyon and Punk defeated Thrasher and Viscera. Molly Holly and Amber James defeat Chantel Fierce and Elizabeth Love. Chris Jericho defeat JC Daz. And then Chris Holly defeated Edge by DQ in the main event, which got a random 92. But also Edge got a staph infection during this match, and also Edge and Christian Cage fell out, which is interesting. I guess maybe he gave him the staph infection? I'm confused. But then on SmackDown, we had Nick Dinsmore defeat Savio Vega. Sure. Leonardo Michael Murray defeat Mafia Mac, and actually a very solid match. Shockingly good. Shaniqua defeated Jerry Slice. Steve Richards, Cody Hawk, and Animal defeated the It Crowd. Carden Carnival defeated Chains in a 48. Not great. The Undertaker defeated Justice, aka Abyss. And then in the main event, Kane and Scott Steiner defeated Billy Gunn and Roland Regal in a 93. Yeah, I mean, Regal carried this. Yeah, so there we go. Not the best matches, but not the worst week for him either. So then if we go to our deathbed, NWA Wildside, TV show, Austin Creed defeated Brett Major in their first of what seems like a million here. Tony Jones defeated Kenzo Suzuki. And the rest of the stuff is people we're not directly connected to. Then on the Weekly House Show, we had Matt Morgan and Raleigh Durate defeat Brett Major and Kurt Stallings. Durate is a regen, who I think the game signed. But yeah, interesting stuff. Onyx defeated Rayman in a cage. Let's see here. This happened. And yeah, not much of note. And then in AWQ, they have their weekly show. Carly Chambers defeat Annette Blanchard. They're about the same. Michelle McCool, Madison Sinclair defeated Emi Sakura and Portia Perez in a 60. Mino Saka defeated Amazing Kong in a 73. And Ariel defeated Madison Eagles in a 61. If we go to the DevFed for we go to HWA. Let's see here. They had Volleyball and Kevin Vito defeat Billy Baxter and Mustafa Ali. We had Alex Shelley, Dustin Lee, and Aaron Stevens defeat Barry Bradburn, Drew Ox, and Young. Master defeat Darren Corbin. Bryce Strada defeat Danny Basham and Sean Tavari. And yeah. And then for the weekly show. Oh, that was Mustafa Ali defeat Nick Mitchell. And yeah, that's about it. And then if we go to OVW. So for the weekly show, Capital and Sharkboy finally lost tag titles to the 8 squad of the Jablonskis. Let's see here. Anything else of note, really? Tony Mamaluk is continuing to have good matches. And yeah. Lucy Fur's there winning matches. And then if we go to the weekly loop of Saturday, again, anything really of note? Not really. And then, last but not least, they had Darkness Falls 5 on Sunday. So, Beth Phoenix is there. And Mom Luke is there still. But yeah, that's about it. Then, if we look around the wrestling world, news-wise, so we go all the way back to last week's Revolution. MLW had a big show. We had Glacier defeat Luke Hawx, sure. David Flair defeat Steve Dahl, again, sure. The interesting tag team of AC Connery, Cage, D'Lo Brown, Mark Merrow, and Jerry Lynn defeat Julio Estrada, Adam Windsor, and Sick Boy. D'Lo's getting 57, so interesting. Scott Vick's also getting 57s. Violent J defeated Ron Harris to retain the next level title, and Jason Cross defeated Simon Diamond, Laz, and Marcus Miltech. So after releasing from his DevFed, Marcus out there getting work as a regen. Let's see here. AQ, PBUK, FIP. Armageddon, which you guys saw. OVW, which you guys saw. Nitro, Raw's War, PW. Weekly House Show. Oh, right. New Japan had Dream One, so let's see what they did. So we have Evan Courageous is there as he defeated Koti Karata, so good for him. When Kanamura defeated Hugh Morris, so again, good for him. Chris Hero, Murakami, and Lenny Lane defeated Grand Nanawa and a pair of aces. And yeah, I mean, all these guys are actually doing pretty solid. Kano Kishin and Nigel McGuinness defeated the Funkster and Blitzkrieg. So yeah, interesting stuff. I mean, Blitzkrieg's doing well in his alternate reality where he stayed in wrestling. Noah Agawa, Bam and Bigelow, and Super J defeated Osu, Nashura, Jeff Beard, and Chris Candido in a very old guys match, which only got a 68. Gato and Joe defeated Yoshino and Demikin to retain the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag titles in a 79. Hiroshi defeated Mr. Wall Street and Azuka. Sure. Riki Choshu defeated Manu Nakanishi in a bad match. Bobby Roode defeated Tanahashi to end his long Junior Heavyweight title reign in 92. Okay. And then we had Sasaki defeat Chono to retain the IWGP Tag titles in 77. Mostly it's Chono's fault, as he just has fallen off. And Tengoju defeated Bat, which is Muto, and Kea to retain the tag titles in a 94. So there you go. That's it for now. And again, for like the two of you who have, held on to the end of the show here, I will joke about that. But again, here's the basic plan. Today is the Go-Home shows. Friday is the Starrcade preview show where I go over all the matches, show the pretty graphics I made, and give the background to anybody who wants to jump in at the last second. Monday, and then Monday and Friday will likely be the year-end shows. There might be a slight delay. It all depends, just honestly how motivated I get, how deep I want to get. It does depend. Like I have to maybe do some like background stuff. I might like wait to do like at my yearly release of the date. I might not start till the first show of next year. And as far as that goes, there might be a delay there because I want to do my usual year start thing where I fiddle with the various companies, make sure they're not going to do anything too stupid, all that fun stuff. But yeah, that's for now. So if you enjoyed this, go ahead and give it a like, comment below. Subscribe our channel for plenty of TEW 2020 content. I did throw up another basketball GM video yesterday, so that enjoy. I'm trying to get up other stuff as it goes, but hey, we'll see what happens. But that's for now. Talk later, and adios. Have a good one.